You're listening to Comic Reflections, episode 65. I'm Nicholas Prom.
And I'm Jeff Barnhart. Comic Reflections is brought to you by Four Loko because it's boozing time. It's always boozing time. Not really.
We're not really brought to you by Four Loko.
I thought it would be the worst thing to have as a sponsor.
It's so funny. Here's a funny story. My friends are in the heavy metal band, Spellcaster,
Yeah.
and they were on tour, and they ran into a Four Loko sales rep or something, and the guy hooked them up with a bunch of free Four Loko.
Cool.
And I don't think all of them were 21 on that tour.
Oh, yay.
So, and they even wrote a song that they only played live.
Mhm.
They didn't put it on the record. Four Loko. I think the song was like Four Loko Challenge or something like that.
Yeah, it's a challenge to drink it.
Yeah. So, I would agree. So anyway, Comic Reflections is a proud member of the Rhymes with Geek podcast network. You can listen to our show and lots of other cool podcasts like Superhero Speak, Anti-Fanboy, and Super Podcast of Magnifico, and many others at rhymeswithgeek.com.
As I open up a Four Loko, no, it's sweet iced tea.
Yeah, just from North Carolina.
Yeah. Oh, let's start.
Okay, so beginning with Justice League of America number 122, The Great Identity Crisis, written by Martin Pascoe, with art by Dick Dillon and Frank McLaughlin.
The entire point of this comic book is no one in the Justice League knows the other's secret identities.
Well, except for Superman and Batman.
Yeah, except for them.
Yeah.
So when they were this awful creature, who was it?
Dr. Light.
Dr. Light, yeah.
It's funny, he has a lot to do with the other Identity Crisis, that limited series, that graphic novel. It's a pretty important book.
Yeah. But so he switches people's identities to other superheroes' secret identities.
And they all get confused and stuff. So it's a weird story. But he lures them into a trap near the Fortress of Solitude, which he has invaded, Superman's Fortress of Solitude, with this ice creature that he created, out of light, I think. And what's the roll call for this story?
Aquaman, The Atom, Batman, The Flash, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, and Superman.
Yay! All right.
I like doing that.
I'm glad. That's why I always hand that off to you. But anyway, once Dr. Light has snuck into the Fortress of Solitude, he set all these death traps for each member of the League.
Yeah, and he thinks he's killed them all. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of an evil fish that
he uses to kill Aquaman.
Yeah, it's got a bomb in it or something. So, the superheroes awaken, and then they're in their wrong.
Are they in the wrong bodies, or they're in their own body and they think they're the wrong person? Okay.
So when they come over to some place, and says, "Who are you?" And
it's like, I'm Hal Jordan, but it's like not. It's like Ray Palmer or Barry Allen or somebody. I can't remember who got switched into who, but.
And this cool secret identity stuff is really important to superheroes and revolutionaries, real revolutionaries, hackers, and such. I am not a nerd. I'm a god. It goes in that feeling. It's sort of. You just think I'm a nerd, but I'm really a godlike being with tremendous powers.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool. I enjoyed it. Hal Jordan sells toys. I thought that was kind of
Yeah, in the 70s, he changed careers and was doing weird things. He wasn't the test pilot so much at this point. Remember, for a while he was driving a truck.
Yeah, that was oh yeah, but yeah, sort of. So I don't know, but they decide that this is a bad idea. They got some kind of army of super creatures. That looks really cool.
Superman has a menagerie of alien creatures inside the Fortress of Solitude.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Dr. Light releases them, and that's where they're fighting and stuff.
fortress leaks like a sieve, doesn't it? There's always somebody breaking in. And Dr. Light grabs the
Bottle City of Kandor.
Kandor. Yeah, and
but Green Arrow saves it, which is great.
Yeah. For Superman being invulnerable, he gets his butt kicked a lot.
Especially in these stories. In his own book, you don't have it happen too much unless somebody has kryptonite.
There's no one to save him.
What's that?
There's no one to save him.
Right.
In this one, the other characters can come up to the forefront and do some,
Yeah, well, yeah. And I think in a League book, they're like, oh, there's some villain with a crazy master plan that can keep us all busy or, find ways to overpower us. It's a little different than somebody plotting to destroy one superhero.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. There's.
It's okay.
It's got to be a hard book to write. But at the end, the conclusion of the story, they beat Dr. Light and they decide, hey, so to keep this from happening again, we'll all need to share secret identities.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the beginning of that. It was kind of an untold tale at that time.
Well, now it's told.
Yay! So, moving on to our next issue we've got, it's Justice League of America, number 124.
We have the Justice League and the Justice Society.
Yeah, I love these team-ups.
Okay.
And the story is The Avenging Ghosts of the Justice Society, written by Elliot S. Magan and Cary Bates, with art by Dick Dillon and Frank McLaughlin. And what's the roll call in this story, Jeff?
From the Justice League of America, Batman, Black Canary, Aquaman, Hawkman, Green Arrow, and Flash. Justice Society of America has Robin, Wildcat, Wonder Woman, Johnny Thunder, Iron Man, and Dr. Midnight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what is it? The Injustice Society of America has hypnotized the Justice League and made them kill the Justice Society.
Yeah, they finally killed someone and they killed JLA.
The JSA.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Because the Justice Society members were killed.
Right. Oh,
and who's a member of the Injustice Gang in this?
One of the writers, or the cartoonist.
Yeah, it is one of the writers. I believe it's
Cary Bates, isn't it?
It's either Cary Bates or Elliot Magan. But yeah, he's on Earth 2 from Earth Prime.
Yeah, that's Cary Bates.
Yeah, it's Cary Bates, and who is a villain because he refuses to talk about his comic book writing career anymore.
What does he do now?
He writes for Hollywood. But I never heard of anything that he'd written there. So he's got some highfalutin attitude about it. So screw you, Cary Bates.
Yeah.
But
okay.
But members of the Injustice Society include, in this issue, if you'll turn back that page, we've got the Wizard, the Gambler, the Sportsmaster, Icicle, the Shade, and the Huntress.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, a formidable team of evildoers.
What? I don't know.
And they've given Cary Bates superpowers.
Yeah. I wish they had thought more about the villains and more superpowers.
Well, the Shade has powers, and so does Icicle.
Yeah,
and the Wizard.
Yeah. The Shade. Demon of Darkness. Actually, he's pretty good. The Wizard's okay. Huntress and
Sportsmaster are kind of lame. And the Gambler really sucks.
Yeah.
It's like I expect him to be like Kenny Rogers, you know?
Yeah, I guess he knows when to hold them, I suppose.
Knows when to fold them. Those are his powers.
Yeah.
And knows when to walk away from the Justice Society.
Yeah.
So, the Justice League, do they do battle with the Injustice Gang after this?
Yeah, you betcha. Cary Bates has super power. I mean, really incredible powers.
Yeah.
So his buddy comes from Earth Prime.
Yeah, and, that's where we live.
Yeah, and that's kind of disappointing and cool that Earth Prime doesn't have superheroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're boring.
Yeah.
Oh, but he turned. What's this guy's name? It's
Elliot S. Magan.
Okay, Magan's chewing bubble gum, and Cary Bates explodes a bubble gum and puts him inside, and carries him away.
It's back to Earth 2, I think.
Yeah, he can. No, I think he's already on Earth 2.
Oh, okay.
They're talking with their
editor, right?
Right.
Who is Julius S. Schwartz, or Julie Schwartz.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's an S, but Julius Schwartz.
Yeah, and he has some device that that goes into...
Oh, the cosmic treadmill.
Yeah.
That's right. The Flash entrusted it to Julie.
Yeah. No, not a very good idea on Flash's part, it looks like. So.
But the Spectre shows up in this story, too. Then that will be very important later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, nice ad. Are you into comic fandom?
Yes.
No.
What?
I guess so.
But it's an advertisement for the Comic Buyer's Guide, which was an early, not so early, but a 70s fanzine and important in comic fandom.
Yeah.
So there's a big fight with the Justice League and the Injustice Society, which is cool.
Yeah, cool panel. So he draws a target.
Yeah, Sportsmaster spray paints a target on Black Canary's belly and starts throwing darts at her.
Okay.
Which is weird. And the Gambler throws playing cards at Aquaman. Wow, very scary. But the rest of the Injustice gang are actually quite cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Justice Society members that were killed, the Spectre, who was their old teammate, he decides to ask God to bring them back from the dead, and God says okay.
Oh, first he has to consider it. Okay, so
yeah, but I love that's it. The Deus Ex Machina is
Deus.
Yeah, yay.
Yeah. But the Magans, is it Magans? Magans?
Is it, which one?
Magan. He figures out that he needs to smack Corey Bates around.
Oh, yeah.
And knock his concentration. And that's how they win. That's how they win the battle, I think.
Yeah.
Then the
JSA members come back to life.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody remembers that they died, I think.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
But then the JSA really come and mop the floor with the Injustice gang. They're just double teaming all of these villains.
Right.
It's really great full page splash with Hourman and Green Arrow beating up the Icicle, Robin and Hawkman fighting the Huntress, Wonder Woman and Black Canary tying up the Sportsmaster, Batman and Dr. Midnight swinging in and fighting the Shade.
And Aquaman putting into the
Aquaman and the Thunderbolt looks like they're drowning the Gambler.
Yeah.
And
cool.
And Flash and I can't remember. Oh, Flash and Wildcat fighting the Wizard.
Mm-hmm.
So right on.
Oh, yeah. I guess Julius Schwartz in the last panel says he wants to eat his bean soup in peace.
Yeah, because he thinks it's a dumb story that he comes and relays to these guys.
Mm-hmm.
But
nobody is going to believe a story with a plot snag like that. Get out of here.
But I think my favorite part was the fact that the Spectre was in this story.
You like the Spectre?
I like him a lot, and he's who I from the Justice Society that I miss the most in these team ups that they have. So. But moving on to Justice League of America number 127, The Command is Chaos, written by Jerry Conway, with art by Dick Dillon and Frank McLaughlin.
Yeah, interesting little story here. I'll get a roll call. Superman, Flash, Green Lantern, Red Tornado, Green Arrow, Black Canary, Batman, Elongated Man, and Hawkman. They gave it in order of importance, apparently. Maybe Superman, Flash, Green Lantern.
Well, Batman's pretty low on the list.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I think it's just kind of in random order.
Maybe.
I don't know. So yeah, there's this group of super villains, and one of them's their leader is like a cult leader or something, right?
Yeah, it's an anarchist, and he's
also a televangelist or something.
Right. And here he is, kicking Superman's butt, big time.
He and his minions are really mopping the floor with the Flash and Superman and Red Tornado, which is, well, pretty impressive.
Yeah, they have cool masks. It looks like gas mask almost, but they're...
Yeah, or at least the one guy has that.
Oh. A advertisement here for Dusty or Sky.
Both are knockouts. First of all, it's an advertisement for dolls.
Yeah.
And they're fashion dolls.
Right.
Dusty is a blonde. Sky is a black girl, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I remember there was a boy equivalent to this. There were Boy Scout dolls. And there was...
action figures?
No, they were friggin' dolls.
Oh.
Okay, but they were like boys. They had Boy Scout uniforms, and it was... I can't remember the kid, Tommy or Chaz, and Chaz was the black kid, but I know those are not the real names. But
oh, they have a horse named Nugget.
Of course they do.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wrong audience.
I know. What next? An ad for prophylactics?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yikes. All right, the UN is angry about this because just it's just a Justice League.
Yeah.
Was supposed to protect them, but here comes this anarchist crew, and they
almost killed these guys.
Well, they grabbed some of them and teleported them away.
Yeah. And so the League aren't looking so hot.
Mm-hmm. And Green Lantern is under the some kind of spell to.
That drains his power, right?
Yeah, and he's under compulsion to juice up his ring.
Oh, when he doesn't need to, or
right?
Weird.
Because, as we found out later, the bad guy is using his Green Lantern power.
Now, I usually don't bring up advertisements, but here's one that I do want to bring up. There was a short-lived action figure line called Big Jim's Pack, and Pack is an acronym for what is it?
Professional Agents Crime Killers.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, a bunch of guys in there, and they are these heroes are persons of color.
Yeah.
Yeah, either Native American or black guys.
Dr. Steel looks Asian.
Okay.
Warpath is American Indian. And the Rip is a black guy.
And so is Big Jim.
Big Jim? Yeah, red hair.
It's brown.
Brown?
Yeah. And I know it's straight, but he probably has some Brill cream going.
Yeah.
But anyway, the art in this advertisement for these toys is by none other than Jack Kirby.
Wow.
Yeah. You won't see him do a lot of advertising stuff, which kind of interesting. And who's the producer of this? Oh,
Mattel.
From Mattel. But yeah, I mean, I've never seen Big Jim's Pack toys, but I've seen this advertisement quite a bit.
It's interesting. They look mad, and they're not handsome. I guess Big Jim could be if he smiled, but looks
but I think it's supposed to be looking tough to fight crime.
I mean, they look really mad.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I thought we looked at this before.
I mean, I've certainly seen it. I just don't remember us bringing it up.
Maybe not. I didn't know anything to say about it, but that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but it's interesting. Sometimes you'll see action figure lines. They'll have like the token black guy in a lot of toys that we'll see. But it's interesting that we see or token one character of color, if any.
Right.
But usually the figures will be like there will hardly be any people of color and hardly any female characters. But this is interesting. A line of like characters are all people of color. So that's cool for how progressive.
Right.
So, what's going on with the Justice League?
Oh. Okay. Clark goes to see with who is the other person?
I think it's Steve from GBS.
Yeah, the big jerk, and Lois Lane, and Steve's got a broken leg.
Yeah.
And they're going to see if this guy can cure it, and he does. And Superman knows it is because he can see it healed.
Right. So he knows it's not a trick, but apparently the guy has some kind of powers.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Lombard, yeah.
Yeah, I always like this, how Superman, so he needs to get out. So what does he do? Yeah, somebody, the hot dog salesman, accidentally put mustard on his suit. I got to get out of here.
He uses heat vision to make the mustard bottle overheat and squirt mustard onto his suit. And then he has to leave.
Yeah.
Classic.
I wonder what his laundry bill was.
Yeah. That's true. So yeah, but the guy that healed Steve Lombard's leg is the lead villain in his, and that was in his role of anarchist and evangelist.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh, a new Twinkie. We've got 2 new ones this session.
Twinkie alert.
Yeah, the cupcake cake.
With Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Oh, nothing great, but it's kind of cool. I don't know. Someone was saying, I'd rather see a movie based on the hostess superhero commercials and something or another.
Oh, man.
What were they doing? They're remaking Airplane.
Really?
No, not Airplane. The Naked Gun.
Oh, they are. Yeah, I heard about that.
Boo.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, probably.
And they're making something else that's really stupid, but they always do. Remakes blow. And, I haven't seen even a great remake. I would guess would be.
This 1970, I think 8 or the 70s version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That's a great remake.
Yeah, it is, and the first one's really good too.
I know. I think within science fiction or horror movies, I think there's a better track record for doing a pretty good remake.
Yeah, True Grit was a decent remake, but I still prefer the original. It's just a much more pleasing film and more memorable. If I think of a line, I hear it from the original movie, not the second one. And the book is really good.
Yeah.
And the second movie follows the book more, but
Rooster Cogburn.
Right? No, the second True Grit.
Rooster Cogburn.
No.
Oh, the remake. Oh, I thought you meant like the sequel.
Oh, I didn't. I haven't watched Rooster Cogburn, the lady, and I thought that was, I don't know, John Wayne needed money for his cancer treatments or something, but
because he did. What was that movie? The Mongolians or the Barbarians or whatever.
Yeah. Can't think of the name, but oh well. So that was a tragic. A lot of people died because of that. But who knew? So the Conqueror.
The Conqueror. That's what it was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they figure it out and they save the day. So, I don't know, but it was kind of cool. The televangelist, wacky getup.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy costume.
But we can't say it's too crazy because we've seen worse.
We have.
But
yeah, the League do defeat these supervillains. I can't remember what the guy's even plot was. Oh, but they rescued those world leaders, right?
I think he's just going to he's going to get rid of government and all. He's an anarchist.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so a wacky anarchist. No.
Yeah. That wasn't one of my favorite issues, but this one's pretty cool. We've got Justice League of America number 130. Mm-hmm. It's Skyjack at 23,300 miles. Written by Martin Pascoe and art by Dick Dillon and Frank McLaughlin. Now, this is a story it's the origin of the Justice League satellite.
Mm-hmm.
In this, they're just built it. Now, this is a untold tale from the Justice League case book. So obviously they've been doing stories with the satellite.
It's a top secret account.
Yeah. So. Oh man.
Oh, there's a little backstory. They said the Joker pretended to be Batman. Wow, that's one of the reasons they want to put it up in the satellite.
That's right, because the original Justice League Sanctuary on like Mount Justice or whatever on Earth, it was compromised. And I think it's that story where Snapper Carr betrays the League to the Joker.
Yeah, I think he's feeling bad about it in this, I think. Yeah.
Oh, was Snapper in this story?
Maybe. I don't know. I seem to remember hearing that.
We read about it in one of those just super spectaculars. Mm-hmm. But I enjoy Snapper Carr. He's pretty cool.
I don't know. I don't know what to think of him. So... Oh, well, these goofball scientists are looking into this rock, and something comes out, some creature, and the creature escapes just while Hawkman and Flash are using the transporter to the satellite.
Yeah.
And they're working on the satellite because computer stuff is wonky.
Okay. Still working the kinks out.
Yeah, so... By doing that, they turn Hawkman and Flash into these monsters.
Yeah, it's really weird. They kind of become amalgamated with this space creature.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of the League are trying to, well, incapacitate the monster and then save their friends.
And they are really kicking butt.
Oh, what was the roll call for this issue? I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Aquaman, the Atom, Black Canary, the Flash, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, Hawkman, and Superman.
Nice.
Yeah, that was nice. Pretty. I don't know. It's marked here for someone invulnerable. Superman gets his butt kicked fairly regularly, and he really gets his butt kicked here.
Yeah. But with otherworldly, with alien stuff, you never know how strong or powerful they are, and so you can say, oh, they're strong enough to overpower Superman.
And they look really DC alien-y. I always like DC aliens.
Yeah. Marvel aliens tend to, at least once you get past like the Kirby giant monster era, they tend to be kind of samey. The Skrulls have a look, but everybody else is very, they might have pointy ears, or their skin's a different color, or their nose might be weird, but I don't know, DC aliens are definitely more distinct and oddball.
Yeah. So, I forget how they fix it. I think they freeze them. Yeah, that's how they do it.
Yeah, and they send Hawkman and the Flash back through the transporter or something.
Well, what was going to happen is that the alien was going to have a baby.
Oh. And they've actually imprisoned the alien within the satellite, like it's always there, like dormant now.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah, no. Something that dangerous, I would send it to the sun or something like that.
Yeah. Well, but if it's a sentient thing, they can't just like kill it, because it wasn't like trying to hurt them. It was just trying to give birth or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. A virus or a bacteria is doing that, and is living, and it just happens to kill you.
Well, yeah, but those aren't
not sentient. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a philosophical question, but should Batman kill the Joker?
Yes.
Yes, and they should kill this thing here too.
Yeah.
I know he's innocent, but he's guilty at the same time.
That reminds me. I just watched this great documentary, and it's called Necessary Evil, Supervillains of DC Comics.
Oh.
And it's excellent. This just came out on DVD. I got it as a gift, and it's terrific. I'll have to lend it to you.
Oh, cool. Sounds like an interesting idea. Mostly on the Joker and
well, they definitely talk about the Joker and Lex Luthor quite a bit, Sinestro, and plenty of others. It's a good one. It's a good show.
Yeah, we ought to make our own documentary on something. I think of an idea.
We do one every week.
Oh yeah, but
you know what I mean?
Filmed one maybe. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
We couldn't interview anybody because we had no money to drive anywhere. No one's going to.
Well, there are plenty of comic book creators that do live around here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like Kurt Busiek. I was just talking to friends about this. Kurt Busiek lives here, and now I'm going to be blanking on all these names. Matt Fraction, Mike Mignola, Matt Wagner. Let's see.
Really cool names. I had a cool name like that.
Yeah.
I would have made something of myself.
Yeah, a couple other big ones that I'm just blanking on right now. Yeah. Brian Michael Bendis is another one, and there are others. There's actually a lot of creative comic people who live in Portland. So, anyway, we can move on, though.
Yeah. Crisis in Tomorrow.
Yes, this is from Justice League of America, number 137, written again by Martin Pasco, and still art by Dick Dillon and Frank McLaughlin. And this is another one of those Justice League, Justice Society team-ups, but not only do we have the League and the Justice Society, we also have the heroes of Earth S. So we get Captain Marvel, Mary Marvel, Bullet Man, and Bullet Girl, Captain Marvel Jr.
Yes, stands for Shazam. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they would think of something different.
And Ibis the Invincible, and Mr. Scarlet and Pinky. But so Brainiac has teamed up with two of Captain Marvel's greatest foes, King Kull and Mr. Atom. And they are going to, I think, they're conquer or destroy 3 worlds in the multiverse or something like that. And it's up to these many heroes to stop them.
Yeah, Kull is a Lord of the Beastmen.
Yeah.
I like that title. I'd want
that. Would you?
Man, I'd put that on my gravestone.
Lord of the Beastmen.
It's great. Oh, they make this, although this guy's wearing a Viking helmet, he makes this Mr. Atom, the nuclear-powered robot. Yeah, okay. Built by Viking. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't. Well, no, he didn't build Mr. Atom.
Oh, he didn't? No. He's in charge of it or something.
He's teamed up with Mr. Atom. Mr. Atom is a great Captain Marvel villain.
Yeah, I don't like the face of it. Everything's cool, but the face looks goofy.
Oh, man. Yeah. He's a goofy Golden Age robot. What are you going to do?
Make him into a super king. I don't know. That's what, but he's kicking butt again.
Yeah.
And
so
Ibis stick.
Yeah, Ibis stick because that's Ibis the Invincible, and the Ibis stick is his like magic wand.
How do you know how to pronounce these things?
Because I've read about it before.
Okay, I read things too, but they never tell me how to pronounce it during things.
Well, I got powers.
Okay.
Someday you will have powers, Jeff.
Yeah. Plus, I just can't remember how to pronounce the stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But pretty cool battle though.
Yeah, we got both Flashes and both Green Lanterns, and that's cool.
Yeah, and they Mr. Atom destroys this building to go and save everybody, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's always good. It's very super heroic. And the Green Lanterns and Ibis encounter this flying saucer, and it is revealed it's Brainiac's ship.
Yay! Needs more Brainiac.
Yeah. Well, I think this is like the third part of a 3-part story. Second or third part of a multi-part story. But at least he's in it.
Right, yeah. He is cool. I like him.
Yeah.
And
it's cool to see him fighting Green Lantern.
Yeah. And this other guy, who's the Ibis stick guy?
Ibis the Invincible.
Yeah.
He debuted in the same Golden Age issue that Captain Marvel did. Wiz Comics #2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In fact, I remember reading that issue. A friend of mine had the Treasury edition reprint, and that was a very fond comic book memory. And I remember thinking Ibis was actually very cool at that time.
Oh, cool. Well, Mr. Atom steals Ibis's Ibis stick.
Yeah, but it's got like safeguards. So anybody who tries to use it for evil or whatever.
Right. And it bounces back, and he sends him to this furthest star, and he goes to the furthest star. So,
yeah.
So
then the heroes are gathered to. I think Brainiac has been subdued, and so the heroes are gathered to go and fight King Kull. But King Kull uses, I think, red kryptonite to.
Everybody is going their super speed, flying in a jet, flying through the air, and Batman brings his car. I don't know.
Yeah, well.
What's up with that?
I don't know. Yeah. Meanwhile, Green Arrow's on foot. That's funny.
Yeah, and Cole has some kryptonite.
Red kryptonite. And he uses it on Superman, enrages him. And then the only person that can possibly go toe-to-toe with Superman, of course, is Captain Marvel.
Yep, and he does well.
Yeah, and it's cool, though. We also get to see Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel Jr. and Mary Marvel.
Yeah.
Fighting King Kull, and the old wizard Shazam sends Captain Marvel to go and stop Superman, and as he's going to collide with Superman in battle, he speaks the magic word Shazam, turns back to Billy, but the lightning bolt changes Superman and removes the effects of red kryptonite. So Superman's himself again.
Yeah, Mercury, the god Mercury, comes by and talks to Shazam.
Well, yeah. Remember, Mercury is one of the gods that gives Billy the Captain Marvel powers.
I've never seen the gods come up and, hey,
well,
hey, Billy, what's going on?
Well, I think because King Kull wanted to steal the power from the Rock of Eternity, which is kind of the central focal point for those where those powers are transmitted or whatever.
Okay.
So somehow Mercury got involved in this story. So it's pretty cool. And then we got to see all those heroes kind of gathered together in victory.
Yeah. I wrote it down here. It looks like there's an Isis comic book. I used to watch ISIS.
Yeah, on the Shazam ISIS Hour. But yeah, she had her own book for a little bit, not long.
Yeah, but I think in the show she drove around in a Volkswagen thing. I've always loved those things. You ever seen
the Volkswagen thing? I've heard about it.
It's based on the Kugelwagen, the German Jeep.
Yeah.
And you could just the cool thing about it, you could take the doors off easy and take off the top, and it was light. And I know in World War II they talked about if it got stuck, a couple of soldiers come and lift it up, take it out.
There you go. The cool thing about Isis, although her television and comic book career was kind of short-lived, she was popular enough that when Mego Toys was putting out their world's greatest superhero dolls, those action figures, she got her own Mego doll as well.
Because a low-rated Saturday morning TV show have probably about 10 times more people than watch it than read any comic book. Probably all the comic books.
It's possible. And the fact that, Mego licensed Captain Marvel as, well, it was part of their DC, properties they made into dolls. And since it was back-to-back with Shazam, which was a popular show, hey, why not put out an Isis doll?
Yeah.
So I think it's sold.
Yeah.
So
did they make Herculoids dolls? Man, I like that one.
I think they have made some much after the Herculoids came out. That was a fun show.
Oh, man.
I love the Herculoids. All those Hanna-Barbera action science fiction cartoons are really great. I liked Birdman and Mighty Mightor and all those guys.
Oh, and Johnny Quest.
And Space Ghost.
Johnny Quest has a great soundtrack. Cool drawing, man. They spent a lot of money and time on it in the show. It's very good.
I think Alex Toth did all the design work for those shows.
Yeah. This is awesome.
Yeah.
But,
And of course, I remember from Hanna-Barbera, the Fantastic Four. Loved that show.
I saw it. I don't remember a thing about it, except for the fact I had the Fantastic Four in it.
I love that
the
show.
original Spider-Man cartoon.
Oh, I love that too. I have that on DVD.
Cool. Okay.
So moving on, we got I think one more issue of Justice League for today?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it's JLA number 145. Story is The Carnival of Souls, written by Steve Englehart, with art by Dick Dillon and Frank McLaughlin.
Yeah. Carnival of Souls comes from there's I think it's a B movie. It's a really creepy, cool film.
Yeah.
Let's check it out. It's old, and a lot of you don't like watching black and white, but I don't know, usually I'd rather watch a black and white than a color film.
I like black and white movies. And so what's the roll call for this?
Batman, Black Canary, Green Arrow, Hawkman, Phantom Stranger, Superman, Wonder Woman, and special guest star Hulk Girl. I don't see any. For a while, on the roll call, they were doing it with. I guess this time they did it alphabetically, but half the time, the last 2 or 3 times, I don't know what they're.
I don't know. Maybe they're just doing it random, so it doesn't seem like, oh, these guys at the top are the most important, and the guys at the bottom are like, yeah, they're in the league, but they're kind of lame. So I don't know.
Oh. So this Count Crystal here summons. What's the name?
Who is it? Is it Belphegor or something like that?
Asgore,
right?
Asgore.
Okay. Yeah, and it's just another wizard trying to challenge the league. This guy's no Felix Faust.
Oh. Okay. But the Count kills Superman.
Yeah.
Wow. So Superman goes to hell. Literally.
Man, with Ernest.
Yeah.
And Jason. No, Jason. Ernest didn't have Ernest goes to hell, did he?
Funny. I like Ernest. Unlike the
too.
character, he was great. He had one TV show where he did about 1,000 voices, and it was wonderful. And it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I need to get that. But
I like the Phantom Stranger shows up. He's a cool guy, and he just. Yeah.
You never see his eyes.
You never see his eyes, and you never get any backstory on him.
And he's got this great cape.
Oh, I know. He's got a terrific cape.
Yeah. But he talks to Superman, and Superman says, "Avenge me, avenge me." Yay.
Which is weird. It doesn't sound like a thing Superman would say, but whatever.
I don't know. If you got killed.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd be mad.
Yeah.
Oh, Star Trek advertisement, and this is when Star Trek got big. Is in the mid-70s. When was this done? This was done in 1977.
Yeah.
And man, this is kind of the golden age of Star Trek fandom.
Sure, it was in syndication or reruns, and
what a great show.
I mean, it was a cult hit when it was airing, but following its original run, it really blew up.
Indeed. Yeah, we're now. I guess a cult hit is not enough to keep it on regular TV. Although now, it would probably be fine because ratings for everything is nothing.
Yeah, and there's different factors that come into play now.
I was reading somewhere, and these people were making fun of an old Jimmy Olsen, and he says, "Wow, Jimmy Olsen then still sold 98,000 copies, which is more, which would make it number 5 in the biggest comic books now."
Yeah,
this goofball Jimmy Olsen with, I don't know, it was goofy. But it shows you how much, even though the amount of people, the target audience has increased, the amount of comic books being sold is less and less.
Yeah, because there's so many different kinds of media out there. Even though the potential audience has grown, comic books continue to become themselves, but continue to be a niche because there's just so many other things to choose from. Although I think presently the medium, there is growth being experienced.
Yeah. Although I hear that for the major companies, comic books themselves, the little physical comic books, is a loss leader. They're not really making money or losing money on them. What they're making money on is making them into movies and dolls
and all the other crap.
Which is
fine because
sad, but
here's the thing, that allows them to continue to make comic books.
Right.
So if you got to do it through merchandising, whatever.
Yeah.
Shows like ours that are intended to fan the flames of the comic book audience, or potential comic book reading audience. So
I thought it was going to make money or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't hold your breath on that one.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. So they're trying to save Superman. So
the League, or the Phantom Stranger, takes the League to Rutland, Vermont.
Yeah, and supposedly Rutland is a super spooky place. I've never heard of it before. So
yeah,
I don't know if it's in real life.
This guy that they talked to in Rutland is a real guy, and he would host these big superhero costume events for Halloween. Yeah. And it was kind of a big deal. It was kind of big in fandom during the 70s. And there are actually issues of Marvel Comics where this guy makes appearances as well. And yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And stories that take place in Rutland, Vermont, in both Marvel and DC, which is kind of interesting.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Because they played up that angle that, this guy does the big, he's a big comic fan and a big superhero enthusiast. And so, hey, this guy's kind of promoting us. Well, let's mention him in the comics.
I wonder if there's any industry that is so fan the symbiosis, or am I using the wrong word?
I know what you're saying.
The fandom is so important to it. I don't think there's anything else, except maybe fan fiction. But novels, I mean, fans made Arthur Conan Doyle write more Sherlock Holmes.
Right. But
and
the thing
stuff
is,
like that, but nothing like this.
I think comic books have such there's a high level of interaction with the fans and the creators. And that's really important. And I think, without some kind of fandom, nothing can continue.
Right.
As far as entertainment is concerned. But yeah, comics are very unique in the level of interaction between creators and consumers.
I think episodic art forms, comic books, TV, are more fan-centric, or
Well, yeah, because you get your hooks in it, and you're getting so immersed and involved in the story.
You write a novel might take 1 or 5 years, and you're not going to change. But with a
comic, you got it coming out every 2 weeks or every month.
And then you hear about it. So they really like this. Well, we'll put more Superman in it. And, But or we won't have Batman or something.
Yeah.
But and shows, they have a Q rating or something like that. So they find out, oh, they don't like this guy, and so let's kick him out, or let's boost up this character actor, and the people like this person.
Well, sure.
And or change. And it's kind of good and kind of bad. Sometimes the fans are wrong.
Sure. Although they weren't wrong about Wesley Crusher. Thank God they kicked him off of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I feel bad for.
Will Wheaton, he's doing fine. He does a lot of stuff with the Nerdist now, and so he's fine.
Yeah, and I think he understands it.
Even he knows that Wesley Crusher was awful.
Yeah, and it's something that if I don't like a character in a movie, I'm not angry at the actor.
Well, right.
But sometimes I am. But it's usually because it's bad acting or something.
Sure.
But
he was a kid. They just made him a whiny, weenie character.
Boring.
Yeah.
They had like Dennis and Menace in space. That'd be great. Getting all kinds of trouble and all that stuff. Not the one of the TV show. The TV show, he was. What he was the Jim Gomer Pyle as a kid. Well-meaning but clumsy. In the comics, Dennis is causing trouble on purpose.
Yeah, no, I
He's
remember.
A scam.
I remember the Dennis the Menace live-action show.
Man, is it awful!
I saw it when I was a kid. It's been so many years. I couldn't really tell you whether I thought it was good or not. But and I definitely have read Dennis and Menace, the comic strips in collected format, and there's a big difference.
But it would be fun, and they had a little scoundrel, and you can't kick him out of the airlock because he's a little kid. But it'd been a whole lot more interesting than a whiny, know-it-all, boring character.
Right,
man.
So.
Oh, okay.
So what's going on with the League? They're in Rutland, Vermont.
Yeah, and they go to this the Carnival of Souls, which is a crazy amusement park, kind of neat, full of demons and all this stuff.
And then there's that wizard guy again.
Yeah, he's fighting because he wants to get super souls for
Asgore.
Yeah,
and then he'll get powers or something.
Yeah, we see Superman going to the pits of hell. Well, it's kind of in outer space with flames over it. So.
Yeah. I mean, hell's open to artistic interpretation.
Oh yeah, and they all get on this roller coaster and they get attacked by demons, and it's kind of cool. The Phantom Stranger is kind of a useful guy to have around. Looks like.
Yeah, he's got magic, and Oliver Queen gets hit with a tranquilizer arrow or something like that, and so Green Arrow is out of it for this fight.
Mm-hmm.
And the evil wizard, he thinks he's going to make time with Hawkgirl, and Hawkman gets pissed.
Yeah, and she's not happy about it either.
Yeah, because he's gross.
Yeah.
He's just some geeky old guy.
Hey.
No, I mean he's really old. This guy looks like 70.
Yeah.
Or older.
I think he's not a bad looking guy.
He's bald and gross bushy eyebrows and
he could be distinguished if he was a nice guy.
But he's a slime ball.
Yeah.
He thinks he's going to use magic to take advantage of women and get souls for a demon. He's not a good guy.
No. Great little splash panel. I love the way in comics they just have fun with panels and they just go up and down and it's not always straight. Anyway,
I'm glad it's not a block of 9 or 6 just square panels every page.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That would be boring.
But I
think that's why comic strips aren't that good. Comic books are just so superior.
Well, in the beginning, the golden age of comics.
Well, when they would have a big full newspaper page every Sunday of a particular strip.
They're absolutely gorgeous, beautiful.
Yeah,
Nemo is, I don't know, I put that up against
Prince Valiant.
Yeah.
I mean Hal Foster and guys like Milton Caniff, those guys were real artists.
Yeah. Oh, this Phantom Stranger mentions the Tar Child.
The Star Child? Oh, Tar Child. Oh, right. He's telling Uncle Remus' story. Yeah.
I love Uncle Remus. You ever read them?
Yeah.
They're really hard to read because they're in dialect.
Oh, well, I read them in, I think they were, dumbed down for kids or something. But I mean, I read the Brer Rabbit and the Tar Baby.
And which is a wonderful story.
Yeah.
I think his name is Chandler, maybe. I don't know.
To the internet.
No, yeah. But all he did was hang around African American laborers and just listen to their stories and write it down. And he did it in dialect. And nobody else was doing it. Nobody else thought that was important.
Yeah.
But he put it in. And I think what really makes academics mad is that he put it into a short story format. And
rather than record it in some hoity-toity fashion. Right. But at least someone's recording these folk tales.
And they're wonderful.
They are. Gorgeous. I love Brer Rabbit.
Yeah, and he's an SOB.
Yeah.
but
he makes Bugs Bunny look like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
He really does.
Yeah, it's that kind of character is. He's
all the trickster. I mean, that's
African and American Indian. They all have the trickster. I'm trying to think. We have Jack of the Beanstalk. He's a trickster.
Well, yeah, you go to all the European classics, fairy tales and legends and myth from Europeans. The trickster is the hero of all these stories. He outwits the monster or the villain or whatever and gets to the girl and the treasure and all that stuff.
Yeah. Aladdin's kind of trickster.
Sure.
It's kind of cool. It's great.
But we just seem we don't value that anymore. So I don't know.
Trying to think, is there a trickster that's...
I mean, there's the trickster, the Flash villain.
Yeah.
But I know you mean more.
It's kind of clever. I don't know. Moonlighting.
In comics, the tricksters are the supervillains. They're always trying to set traps and outwit these superheroes.
Yeah. Oh, what about the weird-looking hero that looked like a villain to me? For crying out loud. He's orange and or something. He's really bright-colored.
I do not know what you're referring to. From what?
He looks... we read it. I don't know if it's Marvel or DC. And sort of... I think it was Marvel.
Okay.
He was always making jokes, and he was like the Joker gone good.
Oh, the Creeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, from DC.
That's kind of a trickster.
Oh, definitely.
But the exception proves the rule, though. That one's, I can't think of any other ones.
Sure. I mean, they're out there. I mean,
the
Spider-Man's kind of a trickster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He really is.
Yeah. But it's kind of... Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, no more tricksters. But, all right. But, they fight Superman and Phantom Stranger lets himself die. Is that who it is?
Lets himself die?
Yeah.
Well,
and then
I don't know that he's really dead or alive.
Oh, no. He goes and he lets himself die so he can help Superman fight the demon.
Right.
And then they escape, and the demon doesn't have any soul. So they, I know where one soul is. So he comes and gets a talent crystal.
Yeah. And that's the end of that jerk.
Yeah. Demon is okay, not great. And we see the Red Tornado we thought was dead. Now he's living. So everyone comes back to life, and everyone's happy.
Yeah.
So, not bad.
Oh yeah, there's this little 2-page feature in the end of the book. It's 100 issues ago in Justice League of America number... well, I'll just do the math.
45, looks like.
Yeah, number 45.
1966.
And it recalls the original story where the League fought the Shaggy Man. No, who is a major recurring League villain, but
the Shaggy Man. That was a character in Wizard of Oz.
Was he?
One of the books.
Oh well, he may have taken his name from that then.
Yeah, but he was mainly Shaggy. Maybe it's Shambling or something. But he was a hobo and he just wore this crappy clothes. And
okay.
cool character, though. As in, that's another the Wizard of Oz books, except for the first one, which I didn't like, but the rest of them are gold.
Okay.
Very cool. All right, not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
All right.
So moving on, we've got some Marvel comics to talk about.
Oh, okay. Before we go.
Okay.
The more I read of 70s DC comics, the more I like Marvel. I don't know. It's something about it. The writing is not that good or something. I'm not getting sucked into the stories.
Okay, and that's fair.
But, I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah.
And there's some cool things about it, but I don't know.
We read a lot of 70s comics, period. And granted, I also feel that the Silver Age DC stuff is superior to its 70s output. Yeah. But there's some cool stuff.
Right.
So.
Okay.
So.
Man, I didn't know where this Ka-Zar the Savage was going. And man, it goes in a way that's mind-blowing.
This is a great issue. It's just talking about Ka-Zar the Savage, number 17. And the lead story is called Tag, You're It. Written by Bruce Jones, with art by Ron Frenz and Steve Mitchell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we start with this detective story, and this guy, what's his name?
Something Malone, I think, or something.
Yeah, it's, I forgot who it was.
It doesn't matter, it's made
up. But
it's
it's all made up.
Yeah, but, you could say Sam Spade, and that's the same difference.
But he's a private eye with Rex, a detective doll, and he's being hired by this blonde with a grab me sweater. I love that.
Yeah.
And he's searching for this guy, and the guy sneaks up on him and aims a Luger at him, and then we find out that it's a cliffhanger. And
it's a detective story that Ka-Zar is reading.
And Ka-Zar is mad.
Yeah, really mad. But Ka-Zar and his wife Shanna the She-Devil with Zabu, they live in their bungalow in the Savage Land.
Shayna is using the big cat as a pillow.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would too if it didn't make him mad. I wouldn't want what's his name, Zazu or something like that. Zabu. He's a saber-toothed tiger.
He's the last saber-toothed tiger.
Oh.
But Ka-Zar, Kevin Plunder, he's a millionaire, and so. Like once a month or whatever, they get supplies dropped off from the mainland so he and Shanna can just hang at the bungalow in the Savage Land.
Yeah. So
the plane comes to bring their mail and it crashes.
Yeah. Although it's a day early, I'm not sure if that's he doesn't know the pilot doesn't look like, but. Ka-Zar reads detective comics or detective stories, and what's her name?
Shanna the She-Devil.
She reads National Geographic, and she says, "Man, this is boring here with all the dinosaurs. I'm gonna go to Africa." I say, "You gotta be kidding me! I'd rather see a dinosaur than anything in the world." So apparently, they find the pilot. And he has a gun, so Ka-Zar likes the guns, and Shanna doesn't.
Right.
But so all of a sudden they start hallucinating. Shanna is a deer, and Ka-Zar is a detective.
Mm-hmm.
And the detective figures out that it's a blonde who is to blame, and she's well proportioned.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So Ka-Zar is chasing her.
In this hallucination, he's having the fantasy of being the detective.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And
she has a fantasy of being a gazelle.
Yeah. And she eats this bit of root. And she stops hallucinating.
Yeah, because they ate some mushrooms.
Yeah, I think in the dinner she made, she used the wrong kind of wild mushrooms, and so they're tripping.
Mm-hmm.
Tripping balls, as they say.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. And
but he's hallucinating, and she's got to like get away from him and whatever. And he and Zabu.
Yeah, start fighting. Yeah, it's kind of Yeah, he wakes up and everything's cool.
Yeah, but she's mad because he shot at her and stuff.
Yeah, indeed.
So there's a backup story.
And I'm sorry, I didn't read this.
Oh, at all?
But it's no, I didn't. I just didn't know it was here. So, but it's very short, and it's alligators versus Zabu, and it's beautifully done.
Yeah, let me give the credits real quick for that one. It's called Of Kith and Kin, written by Bruce Jones with art by Val Mayerick. And we see Zabu and pterodactyls and all kinds of cool crap.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to read that over because that's cool. But I'm a sucker for great drawing.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're in the right fandom.
Yeah, but we got the wrong book for it now.
Oh, okay. Jeff's not too into the next comic we've got to talk about. It's Kid Colt Outlaw, number 84.
Oh, it's not badly drawn. It's just absurd. So
the lead story is the return of Johnny Ringo, written by Stan Lee, with art by Jack Keller and Chris Rule.
Okay. All right. You're on the lam in the Old West. So what do you want to wear? You want to wear a vest that is white with big black polka dots and a white hat.
Right.
And wear it always. Right. Crying out loud.
Remember, they want their recurring character to have a distinct look.
Right.
But yeah, his shirt looks ridiculous. The cow print.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a... Oh, what is it that's like that? Is it jerseys or Guernseys? I don't know. I didn't do milk cows. I did beef cows when I was a kid. So.
Okay.
We had a beef ranch. So.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever tangle with any rustlers?
No, but I tangled with a cow and got chased by them and stepped on and crapped on and just but they're pretty cool. I like cows.
Okay.
I don't want to marry them or anything.
Well, that's kind of a weird thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Okay. I don't know. You're thinking I like cows, but not that way. All right. So,
I'm a little more mature than that kind of joke, Jeff.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll bear that in mind next time.
No, it's okay.
Kid Colt is this engine is looking for him, and tells him that the Johnny Ringo wants to see them. So Johnny Ringo is another outlaw. Kid Colt apparently is an outlaw for something he didn't do, which is kind of like Branded.
I was just gonna say it's kind of like Branded. Yeah.
Branded has the greatest theme song of all time.
It's pretty great. I've watched it on the YouTube.
Yeah, it is cool.
They say he ran away.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
Bandit, marked with a hero shame, with a coward shame.
Yeah.
What do you do when you're branded? You know you're a man. So the end of first day. Something like that.
Yeah.
What a cool man. They don't do stuff like that anymore.
Nope. The Western is basically dead, man.
It's a shame. That's but it's dead. They make more zombie movies than Westerns.
Yeah.
And I'm getting kind of tired of zombie movies. World War Z didn't really do much for me.
I had zero interest in seeing that movie because it looked stupid.
Yeah. The book is great.
Yeah, I want to read the book. I read the Zombie Survival Guide, and that was awesome.
Yeah. And World War Z is even better. A lot better. I don't know.
I want to read it. I'm definitely interested. So, Kid Colt's going to go to meet with Johnny Ringo.
Yeah, so Kid Colt's life was saved by Johnny Ringo.
Mm-hmm.
So he owes him a favor. So Kid Colt figures out a way to get to Johnny Ringo through this posse that's surrounded him. So now they're in a cave with no entrance, except for one, and that's covered.
Right.
So, I don't know. So Johnny Ringo says, "Hey, you owe me one." Says, "Well," and Kid Cole's like, "Oh, well, I guess I got to do it, even though you're an old owl hoot."
That's the one thing I don't like. That term drives me nuts.
Oh, they use it all the time.
They use it so much when we read that Hop Along comic.
Yeah, and I don't know if anyone ever used that in the history of the world outside of bad comics, but so it isn't really said in the comic book, but Kid Colt draws the fastest draw ever recorded in the West and shoots toward Johnny Ringo, but it's actually shooting at this rattlesnake.
Yeah.
And Johnny Ringo, you would think it'd be
grateful,
but he pulls a gun on him and he gets his gun shot out of his hand, which has never happened in the history of, I don't know, maybe, but no one's ever done it on purpose.
Yeah. But you see Western comics, you see guns getting shot out of people's hands a lot.
Yeah, well, you want to have... All right, they're cowboys, so they're going to have 6 guns, although they may not have.
Yeah.
But you don't want them shooting and killing people when you're writing for kids, because that's kind of creepy.
Well, right.
So it's goofy, but it'll do.
Yeah.
It'll do as a compromise. And
sure.
They made fun of it in that one... They made a spoof Western. They did that all the time. And about this really super good cowboy, and then he meets this other super good cowboy, but he's actually a villain.
I don't know what movie you're talking about.
It's okay, but oh well. So he shoots Johnny Ringo's gun out, and Johnny Ringo's got stubble, so you know he's bad. Mm-hmm. He's got a great expression when he's pulling on a cigarette too.
Yeah,
I kind of like that. So
yeah. So anyway, Kid Colt gets away, and Johnny Ringo gets caught.
Right.
So
the next one,
we got another story, another Kid Colt. It's the
Sam Hawkman. Excuse me, Sam.
Let me say it. The Trail of Sam Hawk, Manhunter.
Yeah.
And that is written by Stan Lee, with art by Jack Keller and Chris Rule.
Wouldn't it be better if it was Sam Hawkman? That'd be cool. Against Kid Colt. So,
Hawkman going into the Old West, that'd be great.
Yeah. So Sam Hawk is a bounty hunter, and he's looking for, I guess he's looking. They actually don't say that, but I think he is. He's looking for Kid Colt, and he's sick, and he needs a serum. So someone's bringing a serum to him. But so why is Kid Colt trying to get into town? So Kid Colt he takes off his vest to disguise himself. Wow.
Right.
Maybe that's an interesting idea. So if you dress outlandishly, and so I like superheroes, and then if you take the superhero gear off or the super villain gear off, you fade into the background.
Well, sure. It's just like The Fugitive. Remember, he starts out with that big bushy beard, and then shaves it off once he's on the lam.
Yeah. So, he rides into town, and he gives the serum. We find out that he gives the serum to Sam Hawkman because he was helping this guy who was dying. And said, "You got to give the serum to Sam Hawk." Okay, so he goes and he promises. So he goes and gives his promise. So.
Okay.
The end. So,
that's that, huh?
That's not a bad little story.
Yeah. At least these are short.
Yeah. The Night Rider's a Cimarron.
That's right. No writing credit on this, but very nice art by Fred Kita.
Very nice. Very nice. Good use of silhouettes.
Yeah.
The rider's there and silhouetted.
Fred Kita's art kind of reminds me of Lee Elias or Al Williamson a bit. A little.
Yeah. I love the bad guy here. He's all in red. Red hued.
Yeah.
Because of the setting sun or something like that. But it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Do we need to go into this?
We don't have to.
I can't think of anything fun to say about it.
Okay. It's just a typical Western story.
Yeah.
We've got one more Kid Colt story in this issue. It's Trapped by the Wolfman. And no, he doesn't fight a werewolf. It's just an Indian.
Yeah.
But Stan Lee wrote it, and Jack Keller and Chris Rule did the art.
Yeah, it's a noble savage type character.
Yeah. He's an Apache, isn't he?
Looks that way. No, he's not. He's something.
That's right. He is something else. But the way he's drawn, he looks like an Apache. He looks like Geronimo.
Right. Well, maybe that's what the guy with the. Oh, I don't care. All right.
You just moving right along.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you have some.
No, it's fine. It's nice to do the show again after a couple of weeks, but when we do a gap like this, it's hard for me to remember a lot of what we read.
Right.
So, well, it'll be nice to be back in the routine, let me tell you. So I am really jazzed to talk about this next comic. It is King Conan, #1 from 1980. And the story is The Witch of the Mists. It's written by Roy Thomas, with art by John Buscema and Ernie Chan inking. This is great.
Beautiful.
This is the definitive Conan. Roy Thomas writing, the great John Buscema on art. Perfect.
Yeah.
So Conan's the king of Aquilonia.
Yeah. The thing about these King Conan, but he doesn't do many kingly things. I like that aspect. Here's a king who's a superhero. I want him to do kingly stuff, but it's really just, it's like being king is his other job, you know. And you know, I don't really want him levying taxes, something like that. But idea of a king as a superhero as a king would be interesting. You could go a lot of places.
Well, I mean,
defending your country against
Aquaman's a king. There's Prince Namor too.
Yeah, but it's like a second job or something like that. And it's not.
Because you know why? It's not that interesting. That's like if you're like, here's the superhero, but he's also the president. You know, like, do you really want to see him like passing bills, or do you want him to fight villains? And
a lot of that's boring. A lot of that presidential stuff and king stuff is boring, but a lot of it isn't. It could be interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the most boring jobs in the world, I was going to say this earlier with the Ka-Zar, detective work is boring.
Yeah, there's a guy who goes, who was, at least for a while, was a student here on campus. He's also a private eye.
Wow.
Yeah. And, he said it's dangerous and there's a lot of, like, legwork and crap. But, yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's dangerous is when it's a boring job and get exciting really quick.
Yeah.
And soldiering is that way.
Yeah.
But you could make it interesting. I could,
You know who would have been a historical figure that would have been a great comic book character?
Who?
Teddy Roosevelt. Yeah. Teddy Roosevelt and the Rough Riders.
Yeah.
Going to fight Pancho Villa or whatever.
Yeah.
That would be a badass comic book.
Yes, it would be.
Even if it was completely made up, like all the things they did was just malarkey.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care. That would be so cool.
I agree. That'd be cool. He's bigger than life. And, I like Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah, so Conan's on a hunting trip with his men and his son.
His wife got sick having a baby, and so his son was kind of feeling blue because no one's paying him attention.
Yeah.
Which is normal, but...
Yeah, but Conan Jr., Con, is the son. And he gets lost on the hunting trip.
Chasing this snow white stag.
But it's a trick because the Stygians... then capture Khan, and Conan then has to rescue him from the evil wizard Rathamon. Yes, who is Conan's archenemy. But I'm kind of getting ahead of myself.
I'm glad you pronounced that first.
Yeah,
some really
creepy witches and witchmen.
Oh yeah, the witchmen they've got these silver faces. It's really cool.
And the witchmen are like tall and kind of gangly and weird. And there's a really creepy witch lady. And these are all agents of Rathamon, or excuse me, not Rathaman, Thothamon. In the animated series, they changed it to Rathamon and made him they made him different. They made him like he was an agent of the god Set and blah blah blah. And they were all like snake men, so it's different in that.
Yeah.
God, I can't believe I remembered that cartoon. But Thothamon is Conan's archenemy, but usually he's only mentioned and not really seen much.
Yeah. This could have been 5 or 6 more comic books out of
issues of this.
Yeah, they could have for the storyline because
a lot happens in this comic.
Yeah,
there's a lot of battles. Conan fights these savage, cavemen types that live in the swamp.
And they leave him naked, but alive.
Yeah. Well, they leave him his loincloth, I think.
Yeah, well,
because it's a comic.
Colin is
pretty resourceful.
Yeah, nice kid.
He's definitely his father's son.
But these demons are got some kind of plan or something? Or am I talking about the different...
Thothamon and a couple of other evil wizards are planning to, like, they're in league with each other because they want to destroy Aquilonia and Conan and much of the world.
That could have been a huge... That could have been... It's a lot of story there.
Right. It could be like a year-long story arc with all this, and you'd buy it. But and who knows? Maybe this leads into a longer thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Twinkie alert first. And Iron Man. We don't see him very often.
No, and he fights a guy in a like a medieval suit of armor.
Yeah, he's a hungry battle axe. So okay, but Iron Man does not eat the Twinkie. So.
Well, yeah.
Oh, and some great, man, they got this skull, looks like a human skull with tusk. And it's about the size of a Buick.
It's huge.
Nice.
So yeah, as Conan enters the realm of Stygia, and he talks as this witch, and she's witchy and gross, and gets in and rescues Khan, and then I think they have to fight their way out, don't they?
Yeah. They,
and there's Thothamon, and then like there's an African wizard and a Chinese wizard, and that witch lady, and then the witchmen. Conan has to fight these guys, and they are creepy.
But the way he wins,
he throws them in fire.
Yeah, and then it goes everywhere.
Yeah,
and it's kind of I don't know. It's kind of cool.
But have you ever seen a movie where they fight a bad guy and the guy will like lift somebody over their head and throw them into the fire? Pretty rad. I swear I've seen it in a movie.
In Dune, one of the Sardaukar picks up one of the good guys and throws him. But that's the only thing I can.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's cool. It's wonderfully drawn, beautiful.
Yeah, John Buscema is one of my favorite comic artists. Yeah. And I've said before, like. He's like the only person that can follow Kirby. He followed Kirby on the Fantastic Four, and it works. He followed Kirby on Thor, and it works beautifully. Yeah. But other people have followed Kirby, and nope.
I love the way he draws. It's not as inventive as Kirby, but it's better as in more. It's more.
The anatomy is better. Yeah. The proportions are better. But John Buscema's art is just beautiful, and. He wasn't crazy about doing superheroes, but he's perfect to do Thor and Conan.
Yeah.
He did do Fantastic Four very well, though.
Yeah. There's a joke at the end, and I don't get it. So,
what's the joke?
One of the guys starts laughing because, as I recall, at the hunt, there was a little wine left, and the guy starts laughing, and Conan looks abashed, and I went back and read it, and I couldn't get it, so I don't know.
So we're still in Robert E. Howard territory here because we've got some issues of Kull to talk about. We've got Kull the Conqueror #2, and the story is The Shadow Kingdom, written by Roy Thomas, with art by Marie and John Severin. And now both of them worked at EC Comics in the 50s. Yeah. And John Severin,
drawing of this.
John Severin was did a lot of like war and crime stories at EC.
Yeah.
Beautiful artist.
I know he did a lot of Nick Fury. And,
I think you're right. And we will...
Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos.
Yeah, we'll have some Sergeant Fury and some Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff to talk about in a few months.
Yeah, so Kull is talking to this Pict King. And they tell him about the Serpent guys who are taking over. And boy, are they ever! So in their kingdom, the Serpent Temple can pretend to be anybody.
Yeah, they're shapeshifters or whatever. They've infiltrated the court, Kull's court or whatever, and with snake men, but they don't know. They look like real dudes.
Okay, but as you say, I think Kanama Ka Larger Lama.
Sure.
They turn into snakes. So
you
can tell.
And then he kills the crap out of them.
Right.
Which is great.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
Usually, I before when I had tried to read Kull, I thought it was really boring, but this was a really good issue.
Indeed.
I would refer to him as Kull the Dull, but But Kull the Conqueror is definitely where it's at.
Yeah. So he's with this Pict guy who the Pictish king wanted me to help him out, and he's worried about the guy being so. They find out if you're killed by the serpent people, you're their ghost forever. So
weird.
So they make a pact. If I am previously wounded, kill me.
Okay.
And you do the same for me.
Okay. That's pretty macho stuff. That's cool.
Yeah. The Pict guy is very American Indian like.
Yeah.
But it's really cool, really well drawn. Man.
Yeah.
And then
John Severn's great.
This ancient king who's a ghost and awesome. And
yeah. John Severn used to do so many stories with Will Elder. They were a team. And back at EC Comics, they were, oh man, what a duo.
Yeah.
And Kull as a king, he's like, if you blended Conan with Prince Valiant, that's what Kull is like.
Yeah. Actually, I don't.
And the art here is very Hal Foster reminiscent.
Yeah, you're right. Well, it's the page boy haircuts.
Yeah.
But he fights himself because he is impersonated
by a snake man. Yeah.
So it's just awesomely cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's all you can say.
Yeah.
But
we have another issue of Kull to talk about. And after, I think, 10 or 11 issues, they changed the title to Kull the Destroyer. I guess Kull was done conquering, and it said it was time to be destroying. Yeah. So, but Kull the Destroyer, number 24, the story is Screams in the Dark, written by Don Glut, with art by Ernie Chan and Dino Castrillo.
Yeah, he's fighting this demon shade monster.
Yeah, and it's cool looking.
And it's created by a rock, so he destroys a rock, and not to spoil the story.
Yeah.
He destroys.
And
but his girlfriend.
And there's this creepy, slimy little hunchback, and he's all deformed and gross looking. Yeah. And he wants this chick bad.
Yeah, Lorelei, and she's dressed in the greatest woman's fashion ever.
Yeah.
The brass-clad boobs and all
yeah, I love that.
And which is, I'm glad that's not too popular, because if women wore that all the time, they'd take over the world. If it'd be helpless against them.
Yeah. Like, okay, the Equal Rights Amendment for equal pay would have been passed decades ago.
Yeah. Oh, no, they'd run things.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Interesting theory.
Yeah, I think I'm right.
Well,
but it
most
definitely,
of us do.
I mean, but definitely
it's a great costume. Yes.
The brass brazier is. Well, look at the Princess Leia and all that.
Sure, everybody loves that. Yeah. And in sword and sorcery stuff, it's pretty much par for the course. Everybody loves that, and it's used quite a bit. So, yeah, Kull and this chick, they fight monsters, and they escape from this gross little goblin guy. And
she kills him with her sword, and she doesn't ever want to kill again. So
yeah, something bad happened to her, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't you know killing is fun? It says so in the comics.
Oh my gosh!
Well, it kind of is. It looks. I don't know. Actually, it must be, or people wouldn't do it.
Well, I mean, when Conan kills guys, it seems like, yes, this is like the raddest thing ever. But he's like, crushing your enemies, seeing them driven before him, and hear the lamentations of their women.
Yeah.
That's what's up with Conan. Why can't it work for Kull or anybody else? So
yeah, I love it when they make an advertisement and the superheroes are telling you, hey, buy this stuff.
Oh yeah, what was this?
I'll get 6 titles for the price of 5.
Oh yes, it's a subscription ad.
Oh man,
I love house ads. They're just one of the most fun things, other than the comics, that are in comics.
Yeah, and they tell you more what's going on in the world. I think they're interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're trying to save this minstrel guy. And so what is going on? I almost say Conan. Kull comes in and beats this big guy up to get into the place, and then they fight a big snake, and then we end on a cliffhanger.
Yeah. So he's going to fight this dragon or this serpent or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. So we're in the middle of a story, but it's pretty neat either way.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, we breezed through. It feels like we breezed through this episode today, but we've got one more book to talk about. This is now from Gold Key Comics. We've got Mighty Samson, number 15. And Mighty Samson, he's kind of a sword and sorcery strongman, but it's in a post-apocalyptic setting.
And he is he's in Old Testament time. So I don't know the backstory of Samson. I guess I should look it up.
All you really have to know is it's post-apocalyptic world. There's mutants and monsters and weirdness.
Yeah, I figured that out. But the Samson dude, well, how does he come up?
He was just born with incredible strength.
So they call him Samson?
Yeah.
He lost an eye somehow, too.
But if you notice, there's a panel where they forgot to draw the eye patch.
Yeah.
He's got 2 functioning eyes. But it's okay. It's pretty good. It's written. The story in this issue is The Plot of Gold, written by Otto Binder, with art by Jack Sparling.
This is not a great one, but I really kind of enjoy this. I love the monsters. Samson, I don't know. His redheaded girlfriend's kind of neato. Mm-hmm. And, man, they really dress well in post-apocalyptic America.
Yeah.
Man, she's got some fancy miniskirt on and tights. And
he's got, like, a lion skin, basically, or some kind of animal skin. So,
but, man...
But he's swinging across trees and fighting this monster with a long tongue. And
that pierces things, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
But it has a great villainess.
And she's a recurring villainess.
That's kind of cool.
Throughout this series.
She's got a mini skirt and boots, and she looks fetching in it.
Mm-hmm.
And but she's got a super clever plan. So there's all these tribes around New York.
Yeah. Which is the name they used for New York City in Thundar the Barbarian, which came later, of course. But
so she found gold bullion,
mm-hmm.
and so she says, if I make a gold coin with my name on it and give it to people, it'll end the bartering society and make it into a cash society, which makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, but this is a way for her to seize power or whatever.
Yeah. In order to get the gold coins, you got to meet.
Yeah, they had to swear allegiance to her or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Once people get on board with it, they're like, okay, so this is her plan to kind of take over.
Yeah, and one of the guys, the heads of the tribe, is wearing a top hat and one of those collars.
Collars with the bow tie, but not the shirt.
Yeah,
it's really funny.
And then he said, "Well, what are you going to do with this? You can't eat this coin." And then this guy takes gives him a bunch of cool stuff, and he'll take coins. So hey, this is great. What is on her head? What's her name? Queen Tara?
Is it her? I think it's just her hair.
Is it? I don't know. It looks goofy. It looks like, I don't know.
It's a weird hairstyle. Remember, there's been a nuclear war, so...
Yeah, I guess so. But, so she's flying along, and Samson wonders, where is this money coming from? So she sees him, so she takes a bag of gold coins and knocks a monster on the head with it, and he gets mad and sees Samson's, and it's a bubble monster or something.
It kind of looks like that rhinoceros that shot rocks out of its horn from the Herculoids.
I don't know if it got his name Fang or Drang or something.
I forget.
But Queen Tara thinks she's killed him, and she has this little thought bubble. Here lies Mighty Samson. And she's happy about it. So Samson goes and gets into a car.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's an interstitial short story about Tom Morrow.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.